What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Woo! You know what? I have been giving a lot of thought to the distended gut issue in the IFBB, NPC, and all over. And I've also been seeing people talking about GH guts in natural bodybuilding, even. I've been seeing all kinds of things where if someone has a distended belly, we automatically point to drugs. We're saying, oh, it's because of insulin, because of GH, because of this, because of that. I was actually talking to a couple of my friends, female friends at the gym today, and we were actually discussing this, the guts. And I was talking about how where we were sitting, we could actually see when the competitors were doing and look, I'm guilty of this. When I'm spreading my wings, man, my stomach comes out, right? I mean, and you guys who have my Instagram, at Marc Lobliner on Instagram, you'll see the picture I posted today, and my abs at the end of the day, after a good bowel movement, not overeating, they're flat as a board. Yet, you know, sometimes when I carb up, you're going to see a bigger belly. And I've actually, I think I know what it is. The fact is, these bodybuilders are bigger. They're way bigger. And I really see, other than, you know, thinking IGF-1, insulin, and all this, and maybe a predisposition to visceral adipose tissue or perhaps storing in the abdomen, it's all conjecture at this point. There's no data to suggest that taking these drugs lead to a roid gut. Also, if we call it a roid gut, then Frank Zane, Arnold, and Franco Columbu, and everybody in those days, they were taking Dianabol by the handfuls. They were taking any drug they could get their hands on at the time. They were taking tests. They were taking DECA. They were taking a lot of stuff. Sure, they didn't have the cool things like the IGFs. Well, I don't know. They might have. I don't know all the stuff they had, but they had some drugs. So to call it a roid gut is completely a misnomer because they didn't have those guts. The one thing they didn't have, bear with me here. The one thing they didn't have is as much muscle mass. Arnold was what? 6'2", 225 pounds? Big Rami's what? 5'10", 315 pounds? Phil Heath is what? 5'9", 5'10", you know, 270, 60 pounds, 70 pounds. Kai Green's what? 260 or 270? I mean, you're looking at a lot of muscle. That's a lot more muscle. Frank Zane was what? 180, 190 pounds at 5'8" or 5'9"? We always see this comparison. Oh, the wasp waist and this and that. I really call it the Thanksgiving effect. Bear with me here. Now, to get ready for a contest, even when I guest posed and people said my gut was out of control and this and that, you know, honestly, I was eating whatever. I was drinking a ton of water, and I really didn't give a fuck because I was having a good time. And I even noticed, you know what? I could have controlled it better, but it was a guest posing. I was having fun, and I was just dancing around having a good time. I really didn't expect the gut police to come out on me. And frankly, I'll be on the record. I don't take GH. I don't take IGF-1. I don't take any peptides. Do the math. I'm kind of old school in my approach. I don't fuck with any of that stuff simply because it's not that important to me. Bodybuilding does not pay my bills. So if I have a GH gut, so should have Arnold, so should have Franco, so should Zane. All those guys should have had roid guts if you're going by that logic. What I do have is I'm 5'7", 240 pounds. Again, if Arnold was 225 pounds at 6'1", 6'2", it's a lot more muscle mass condensed. I'm not as good as Arnold. Don't even accuse me of saying that. I'm just giving you some things. So for me to fill out, because I did fill out a little that day, I did eat a little extra, takes me about 1,200 grams of carbs, in addition to the fat and protein also contained in my meals. Now to fill out, I have to assume that Phil Heath, that Sean Roden, that Big Rami, I have to assume that these guys have to take in such an enormous amount of food that their gut will be distended. It will. They're just such big individuals. I've eaten with these guys. I remember talking to Matt Liller, and I forgot which, he's a IFPA Muscle Mania Natural Pro. And he eats like a normal American. I mean, he'll eat like a baked potato and a chicken breast. And he was telling about the first time he saw a pro bodybuilder at a restaurant eating 2 baked potatoes. He's like, man, I've never seen anybody double baked potato that. Think about it. If you're a normal sized dude and you're bringing in 2 baked potatoes, 16 ounces of chicken, and whatever else that guy's eating with his meal, you're not going to be able to suck in your stomach. Thanksgiving is what I relate it to. And that's what I did today. And that's why I was compelled to do this video. On Thanksgiving, go out and purge, just binge. Just go ahead and eat all the turkey, stuffing, sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie, cornbread. bread. Eat all that shit. Pour gravy down your throat. Fuck, pour it on your penis and have someone lick it off. At the end of the day, you're not going to be able to pull in your stomach, and when you might be able to show some abs. Like, I remember I did an eating contest, a Big 8 challenge back in the day. Bow! You saw a big six-pack coming out. As soon as I stopped flexing, that motherfucker rolled over. I know that I have to carb up probably on 1,200 grams of carbs the day before, probably about 800 the day of. And you know what? If I'm not working on controlling and bringing my stomach in, my intestines are just going to pop that shit out. That's what's happening. I do not believe it is caused by drugs. I believe it might have something to do with it, but I also believe that if you're going to call something a roid gut, then why didn't Arnold, and then compared to Arnold, you're acting like Arnold was fucking natural. No, the reason they have roid guts, they have to eat such an enormous amount of food that their stomachs get distended. I don't know what compound it is that people are saying GH. I want to see one fucking iota of literature showing that GH causes a roid gut. And again, I'm accused of having a roid gut. I'll say for the record here, I don't fucking take GH. First of all, I'm too fucking cheap. Second of all, I'm too fucking cheap. Third of all, I'm too fucking cheap. So, I mean, that's what it comes down to. You know, if you're going to call this like the new era of bodybuilding, bodybuilding's gone its way. No, these guys have gotten really big. The pregnant guts are a byproduct of getting really big. However, now you have freaks like Phil kept his gut in check this year, right? Bet you carb loaded a little less. Okay. Big Ramy, his waist is beautiful. So now you're seeing an evolution where you have the big muscle mass and they figured out a way to make it where they're not going to look distended and bloated and pregnant. So what I say to that is before jumping on the GH or insulin or roid gut bandwagon, do some simple thinking. Think about how much these guys eat, and then think about the last time you binged and you went to, I don't know, the Sizzler for y'all ghetto people like me. I still love the Sizzler. They had all-you-can-eat shrimp once a year. It was brilliant. You go to all-you-can-eat sushi bar. You go eat some pizza with your boys. You go have Thanksgiving with your family. Your grandmama cooks some pot roast, whatever it is. Think about how good your abs look when you don't flex them. That's all I got to say. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying that we need to think beyond the accusations and the juice theories and just think with some fucking common sense. Because if it's a roid gut, Arnold, Franco, Zane, Menser, they should have all had it. Are these guys taking a lot of shit? Some of them are. Is it much different than what they took back in the day? Steroid-wise, a gram a test is still a gram a test. Those motherfuckers back. Oh, in fact, I think oral abuse. I love oral abuse. Now, oral abuse was probably much more prevalent back then because they thought orals were like, for them, it was like chiclets. It was like Tic Tacs. You know, now I think we know the hepatotoxicity and we're relying more on injectables. It is what it is. That's my opinion on the roid gut. Comment down below. Be polite, be nice, and be sure to subscribe to follow me on Instagram at Marc Lobliner. Follow me on Periscope at Marc Lobliner. Basically, everywhere you go, just put at Marc Lobliner, except on Facebook, that's Lobliner. TigerFitness.com, and buy some shit from TigerFitness.com because I need to buy some new clothes. This shirt's like from 2 years ago, and that's not a game.